Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! Hi girls, thank you so much for watching my Descendants and Zombies videos all throughout this afternoon on my YouTube channel. I know I keep popping up, but I just heard the news about Hulk Hogan, the greatest professional wrestler of all time, has died at 71 years old. That is really tragic news. I've known a lot of people that work with Hulk Hogan in the professional wrestling industry, and that's why I'm forever thankful that you girls pulled me out of the professional wrestling industry when you did, and you're not letting me go back, because I have to sit on this podcast for the rest of my life and talk about Descendants and Zombies for each and every one of you. I think truer words have never been spoken for us to stay calm and zombie on, because we don't know what's going to happen from one moment to the next. Today, Hulk Hogan. Yesterday, Ozzy Osbourne passing away. And yes, I know my house is haunted. There is a lot of banging in the background. I've been meaning to get that checked out. I've been meaning to call an exorcist. When I first moved into this house, they told me it was haunted, and I wanted to live the whole zombies experience. So not only is this house haunted, but I live 5 minutes away from a soda plantation and a chemical plant that could explode. And you haven't lived until you live in a house near a soda plantation or a chemical plant that could explode. So I've got some good news. The doctor just called me. I've got all of my blood work back. I'm okay. No signs of a zombie infection, so I should be good to go tonight. So if there is a zombie or a vampire watching this video at this moment, I am coming for you tonight. I will be on the graveyard shift, and I have a few more years on my life. So that means that I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. So hopefully some girl is going to hit my subscribe button tonight and send some love my way for these incredible Descendants and Zombies videos that I've been putting out on my YouTube channel for you. I have believed that Ruby Rose Turner, I think, is the strongest girl to ever portray a character for the Descendants franchise, and I say that because Ruby was so kind. I will forever advocate for Ruby Rose Turner because she is just so incredibly sweet. I don't know how people can come down hard on Ruby Rose Turner for all the choices she has made and how she's been public about everything she's dealing with in her own life, both personally and professionally. I think she's had a good friendship with herself and her fans, and she's maintained that for forever. I just don't know for the life of me how they can do Descendants 5 without Ruby. I'm going to really miss Ruby. I think that life is sweeter because of Ruby. I think that she's helped us make sense of everything we've gone through in our lives, and you know, when I felt alone, I knew that people like Ruby and Kylie were out there, and they were entertaining you guys, and they were giving it their all for the Descendants franchise, which is why I take you back to last year when Descendants: The Rise of Red first premiered. I mean, and they were on the red carpet, and they were receiving so much criticism then because it wasn't Dove Cameron, it wasn't Sophia Carson. I very quickly fell in love with Ruby Rose Turner and Kylie Control because of just how powerful they represented the characters they portrayed in The Rise of Red. And they were so strong. I mean, we never heard about how Dove Cameron used to lift weights. We never used to hear about how Sophia Carson used to run track and field. But now we're hearing about Kylie Contrell and Ruby Rose Turner in the gym all the time lifting weights. And I think that has inspired a lot of people to become stronger, to become tougher, and to really stand up in the face of adversity and become really defiant, which is something I really love about the Descendants franchise and the Zombies franchise, because they didn't want you to take no for an answer. And I think more girls now are signing up for the gym. They are working out more. They are becoming stronger and more fearless because of these franchises, which is why I hope these franchises last eternally and forever and always in all of our hearts. And I'm going to do the absolute best I can to make sure that these franchises live on eternally in all of our hearts. You know, I've often talked about a person's legacy on this YouTube channel, and I will talk about a person's legacy until my time is over in this lifetime, because a person's legacy is what we leave behind. To define a legacy, it is what you leave behind and what you are remembered for. And if I had to leave a legacy behind, what I want my legacy to be remembered for is a legacy through the eyes of your favorite Descendant stars, to ensure their legacies and their greatness live on eternally through your hearts and your eyes for forever, because they were just incredible inspirations to so many people. And I love you guys so much for seeing yourself through the eyes of your favorite Descendant stars, no matter if you're talking about Kylie Contrell, Mila Baker, Cameron Boyce, Dove Cameron, Sophia Carson. Every Descendants character, past or present, was a character that had a profound effect on all of our lives and our hearts. And I think our hearts beat a little bit extra faster because we know how much of an impact and imprint the Descendants franchise has left on all of our hearts. I remember the premiere of Descendants in 2015, and I fell in love with the music. I think, first and foremost, I fell in love with the story. just how powerful of a story this was, how even villains and heroes could coexist in the same world at the same university, Oregon Prep, and then years later, the daughters and sons of characters such as the Queen of Hearts were invited to attend Oregon Prep by Ursula's daughter, Uma, portrayed by China Anne McClain, who I was very fond of, because not only was she a part of the original Descendants trilogy, but she was also a part of this new trilogy, and I'm expecting her to be a huge part of Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland 2, because of course she's the principal of Oregon Prep. You know, when I was in high school, I used to get sent to the principal's office, and I don't know about you guys, but I would be terrified of what to expect from the principal, what sort of punishment I was going to be faced with, because I might have done something stupid I didn't necessarily think was deserving of punishment, probably perhaps because I stood up for myself. More times than often enough, I would get sent to the principal's office because I stood up for myself or one of my friends or a girl I really liked that I had a crush on. I mean, we used to get sent to the principal's office for some stupid things, and stupid things that we didn't even think we should be sent to the principal's office for, all because we stood up for what we believed in and the people we loved so much. That's why friendships were really put on display, not only on camera for Descendants, but off of camera for Descendants. The friendship between Ruby Rose Turner and Kylie Cantrell, beautiful friendship, and the friendship between Kylie Cantrell and Mila Baker, and the friendship between all three of them, but the friendship between Kylie Cantrell and Ruby Rose Turner jumps at me off the pages every single time. I wish that Ruby was still a part of Descendants so we could see a deeper look into the friendship between Ruby and Kylie, because the friendship between Ruby and Kylie was not profiled enough or discussed often enough. I mean, they've been friends ever since they were 9 years old, and that's why I have a profound amount of respect for them, because people don't stay friends for that long. And if you have a friend that you can stay friends with for your entire life, like Ruby and Kylie or Kylie and Malia, you have something that's worth holding on to and deserves to be respected, because a lot of friendships don't last that long. A lot of friendships are talked about today and forgot about tomorrow. So if you have a friend, if you have 2 or 3 really good friends in your lifetime that you can hold on to, I think a very valuable lesson can be learned from the franchise Descendants, because friendship is something that we often take for granted and it's not valued enough. But I think the more value that we can put on friendships and empathy, I think it gives us a greater appreciation, because I've often believed that you don't need a whole lot of friends to make it through life. If you have 3 or 4 really good friends that can help you make sense of your life and your decisions that you make and the consequences you may be faced with from your decisions you have previously made, if you have 3 or 4 really good friends that can help you make sense of every situation or debacle you're caught up within, I think you have something to really look forward to. And that's why I really appreciate what the Descendants franchise has offered us and will continue to offer us in summer of 2026. Now, the release window for Descendants, the Descendants Wicked Wonderland movie has a release window that is suggesting summer 2026. That could be fall 2026. There is nothing that is indicating it will be released in summer of 2026. It is indicating that we will see it at some point in 2026. That doesn't necessarily mean that we will see it in summer of 2026. That could be fall 2026. That could be winter 2026. We really don't know. I would love to see a Descendants premiere happen in the fall of the year because of how Halloween is around that time of year. We have New Year's approaching. It would be really fun if it was premiered around the holidays, because then, of course, the whole Descendants Christmas aspect could be factored into it. Usually what they do is they release a Descendants movie in the summer. I know they released the 3rd Descendants movie on August 2nd, 2019, and then, of course, the original Descendants 1 and 2 were released in July of respective years, 2 years apart. So the latest a Descendants movie was ever released was in the first week of August of 2019. So I would kind of like to see them turn back the clock, and instead of releasing it in the summer, I'd go for a fall premiere or closer to the holidays, because then, of course, songs like Chillin' Like a Snowman, which was spun off of Chillin' Like a Villain, and other Descendants songs like Red Christmas could be created and released around the same time the movie was released, so you could kind of double promote it. And I think a lot of people will be really excited to see a holiday premiere for this one, and it will really create and present the feel for a lot of magic. Not that you can't present magic in the summertime, but I think releasing it around the holidays would be a very effective way of promoting this, and of course it would increase the sales of merch like the Descendants dolls and the costumes. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. That's why I've always wanted to be the director of Descendants, because I think I have a lot of insight and a lot of understanding and knowledge of the Descendants franchise that a lot of people who direct this, like Kenny Gatewood and Jennifer Fang, really don't. They may have a greater appreciation for the characters, but the question remains in my heart, do they have a greater appreciation for the franchise that Kenny Ortega helped build and create? I've always had a lot of respect for Kenny Ortega. I think he will forever be the greatest Descendants director of all time for how he created Descendants 1 through 3, how he created Hocus Pocus, and was a driving force behind High School Musical. I say this because I was the biggest Hannah Montana fan in the world. And if there was one guy who supported Hannah Montana and was credited to her success, it would have had to have been me. I think everything that Miley Cyrus ever did as the Hannah Montana character, I was coming out in support for. And I don't regret having been the only guy in the movie theater with 100 girls. If I was the only guy in the movie theater watching Hannah Montana with 500 girls, I was proud to have been the only guy in the theater. And I still talk about it 15 years after the premiere of the Hannah Montana movie in April of 2009. I still talk about it after the premiere of the High School Musical movie in October of 2008. Both High School Musical and Hannah Montana's movie premieres were released a year apart. Maybe not quite, but just a little bit closer to a year. I loved it so much. I even almost crashed my car into a billboard catching the High School Musical movie premiere because I loved it so much. And years later, I never ever thought Disney would create something as spectacular as what Hannah Montana or High School Musical was. And years later, here comes this beautiful girl with a gap in her teeth named Kylie Cantrell. Received so much criticism for her belief of wanting to be a star of a franchise such as powerful as High School Musical or Descendants, after watching it ever since the age of 9 years old and singing songs in a room like Rotten to the Core. I mean, she really had this role as the Red character really in her heart and set her mind to it ever since she saw Descendants for the very first time. It was incredible. She was totally off the books with Descendants. So I think that from the first time a director or a producer got a look at Kylie Cantrell and her previous work and her desire to want to produce an EP and the magic that was put behind this EP and how much creative energy was withstood in the mind of her, they knew instantly that this was going to be the right character. This was going to be the character to have the torch passed from Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson to people like Kylie Cantrell and Mila Baker, who equally did an equally impressive job as the daughter of Cinderella, Chloe. I think that working alongside icons like Rita Ora and Brandy also was a huge driving force behind the success. But again, the friendship between Kylie Cantrell and Mila Baker, for instance, and even the friendship between Kylie and Malia and Ruby, is a huge driving force and really benefited us because we saw that chemistry not only off of camera but on camera too. It was really hard for them to shoot scenes for Descendants, for those of you who don't know, where they were in fights, where they were in arguments, because they were real life friends. And they loved each other so much that it was really hard for them to really make us believe that they hated each other and couldn't get along, couldn't stand each other in these fight scenes. Like within the first 25 minutes of the movie, it was really hard for me to believe that these two girls could hate each other at such a pivotal point in the movie where, stuff was really going to happen. Shit was really going to, happen if they didn't get along. And they realized it halfway through the movie. They saved each other from Jabberwockies. They saved each other from every other predicament they were caught up within. And now Descendants 5 brings us up to what are the consequences of time travel. Now the consequences of time travel have happened and time travel have been taken out of the Descendants franchise. What's next? What's going to happen in the next chapter of Descendants? What characters will cause confliction? Will we see quarrels, more than one, between Pink and Red? Will Liamani Segura come back for Descendants 6? Will all these characters that are being introduced into the franchise have a more significant role and part in the franchise by the time we see Descendants 6? I, for one, thought British Columbia was a beautiful place to shoot Descendants, but I think that this island I live on reminds me of Oregon even more. The water, the scenery is absolutely beautiful, and I would love to be the director of Descendants just so I could shoot Descendants from where I live. When I found this island and I found this house, this was the perfect place to shoot this podcast because I could speak from my heart. I could tell you how I felt about Descendants, and I could do it so peacefully. I love recording videos at dusk, just before dusk, and even the nighttime because it's so peaceful. I've always loved the music. I've always loved the storytelling with Descendants. I've always appreciated the opening monologues. But I've also wanted to be the voice in the opening monologues of Descendants because I think that it creates a very unpredictable feel for the movie and nobody knows quite what to expect next. And I honestly hope that we are not at the point where we're running out of ideas for either Descendants or zombies. I don't want to buy into what the critics are saying online about how we're running out of supernatural creatures to talk about for zombies, how we're running out of characters to see in their introduction into the Descendants franchise. I don't believe or buy into that for one moment because there are so many fairy tale characters, there are so many supernatural characters that have yet to see their introduction into the zombies and Descendants franchises. and these stories are far from over. Girls are stronger now because of Descendants. They are stronger now because of zombies. They are standing up for what they believe in. They are joining gyms. They are joining volleyball teams. They are joining swim teams, what have you, and they are more courageous. And that is something that I give the creators of Descendants and Zombies a profound amount of credit for having done, instilled in the minds of everybody that every dream is possible. And I go back to the opening night of the concert, the Worlds Collide tour, earlier this month, when Kylie Cantrell said, every dream that you have is possible and achievable. Thank you so much, Kylie, for using my quote in the introduction of the Descendants franchise. It really warmed my heart to know that Kylie could possibly be seeing these videos. And you know, it's a really rewarding feeling when somebody hits the subscribe button for this YouTube channel, because it lets me know that you really do love these videos and you want to see more of these videos uploaded on my channel. I created this YouTube channel to spread a message of kindness emphatically. Not just a message of kindness, but I created this YouTube channel to spread a message of kindness emphatically, because we don't know how long we have in life. I just spoke on the death of Hulk Hogan and spoke on the death of Ozzy Osbourne. Because I knew Hulk Hogan and a lot of people he worked with professionally and personally, it is a huge loss. And we don't know from one moment to the next what's going to happen to us in life, which is why our friends are our greatest gift and our greatest allies, and people we should respect and we should treat the same way that we want to be treated. So if we want to be treated with respect, we should treat our friends and our allies with so much respect, because we don't know what's going to happen to us. We really don't from one moment to the next. I am very fortunate to be one of the only guys to ever worked in the professional wrestling industry or the podcasting industry to still be here, to be able to create this show for each and every one of you and talk about how cool it is to stay calm and zombie on, or talk about the future of Descendants and Zombies. I want to be able to do this for you for X number of years, for forever. If I can get away with saying this, I want to be able to produce this show for each and every one of you for forever. I don't care what girls think of me in relationships that I could have had or may have had, because I've honestly chosen each and every one of you over every relationship that I could have had or may have had or could have been in, because they couldn't understand why I was so appreciative of a niche that made no sense to them. It made perfect sense to me why I should fall in love with this niche all over again and time again. It was because of just how incredibly supportive each and every one of you are. I love how strong you are. I love how you don't care what anybody thinks of you. And when you feel as if somebody is hurting someone who you love for creating Descendants videos, you stand in front of me like a shield every single time to, shy away from the criticism this channel or these videos may be receiving. Thank you so much for being so strong. I hope you continue to be strong and supportive of these videos, because I honestly love creating these videos for you. There's no other place in the world I would rather be than being able to sit behind this podcast microphone every single night of my life for the rest of my life talking about Descendants or Zombies. I am a full-time YouTube creator, and I have everything that I could ever want, that my heart could ever want. But if you don't have anyone to spend time with, or anything to share anything special with, you really don't have anything. That's why I think guys need to really understand how a girl's mind really works. All a girl ever wants is for someone that she loves to be happy. That's all she ever wants, to be accepted for who she is and whoever she loves to be happy. Why can't we just understand that? Why can't we just give a girl what she wants? Her space when she requests it, and just her desire fulfilled to be happy. That's all a girl ever wants. She doesn't want to make you upset. She doesn't want to make you cry, make you angry, make you frustrated to the point where you don't want anything to do with her ever again. A girl is just trying to make sense of her own life, and all she ever wants a guy to do is help her make sense of it and understand her for who she is. And I have to shut up now, because I'm going to have a million girls hitting my subscribe button before night's end. Before the sun rises tomorrow morning, I'm going to have a million girls hitting the subscribe button because they think I'm a real sweetheart. And you're going to have to forgive me, because I am a real sweetheart, and I do believe that a girl's opinion is really taken for granted sometimes. That's why when I hear about how Kylie Cantrell is faced with so much criticism because she hasn't watched Shrek, or she's not a Donald Trump supporter, it really breaks my heart. So what if the girls never watched Shrek? I went a number of years before I ever saw Shrek. Actually, I have a copy of Shrek right here in my DVD collection, which is actually kind of really cool. Shrek. I've had Shrek for forever, so I don't know. There it is there. This is the very first copy of Shrek that was ever released, and I have it right here. So if Kylie Cantrell wants to come hang out with me and watch Shrek, I have a copy of Shrek right here. And I don't know where I found that copy. I bought the full Shrek box set, and the original copy of Shrek was included in the box set. So yeah, if Kylie and Malia want to come hang out with me, I have a copy of Shrek right here. I've got everything. Every PlayStation 5 video game you could ever want your heart to desire, or every movie that you could ever want to watch without using Netflix, I have it. I'm a real nerd. A real nerd. I have snacks here all the time to eat when I'm recording videos, and I don't know, they're Nutri-Grain bars or something. If you get enough subscribers on YouTube, YouTube will send you a mini fridge so you can create videos. I bet you none of you knew that. You guys are saying to yourself, hey, John the Clarke, man, you are really sweet. I'm going to hit your subscribe button because you are the sweetest guy ever to create Descendants videos, and you have a copy of Shrek. Yeah, I have a copy of Shrek. We just don't have to tell Kylie Control that, because if Kylie Control sees these videos, Kylie Control is going to go crazy and hit my subscribe button, which is something I want Kylie to do. I want Kylie to see these videos and hit my subscribe button, because I have more than one poster on my wall, like that idiot guy who tried to date her friend with one poster on his wall and a mattress on the floor. I actually have a bed, 4 posters, reciprocal lights, a cool web camera, and a cool YouTube show. So I've kind of one-upped him for a very long time. Kylie Control is in the best shape of her life. Kylie Control has abs in most places that people don't even have abs, and so does Ruby Rose Turner. I was looking at some pictures of Ruby earlier today, and she is in incredible shape. I don't know why Ruby Rose Turner hasn't gotten more offers for roles outside of Descendants or The Orange is the New Black or Coop and Can They Ask the World. I miss Ruby so much, and I just want Ruby to know, if she hears my voice, that I will forever be supportive of her, and I want her to know that I love her no matter how much criticism she is faced with. I wish more people were more kind in this world. But the cool thing is, you know, for every girl that I've ever had the honor of dating who thought I sucked, I had a girl who subscribed to this YouTube channel every night who was so kind and showed me that there are kind people that do exist in this world, and I am forever thankful for each and every single person who ever hit my like button, didn't subscribe, or hit my like button and subscribed, or didn't do anything at all. Even if you just watch these videos, I am really proud that you watched my video. I am honored to know that you watched my video. You found my thumbnail and you clicked on it and you watched my video, because you didn't have to watch my video. All I am is a loser who talks to Google, plays video games, and watches movies like Shrek all the time. I am a real loser. I dress up like a prince every day for these videos, hoping that some girl is going to think that I'm really cute and hit my subscribe button. I don't know. But I love talking about Descendants for each and every one of you. I really do. And I hope you love these videos just as much as what I do creating them for you. I know it's been a really hard couple of days with the death of Ozzy Osbourne and now Hulk Hogan, who I had a lot of friends that knew Hulk Hogan personally, and because I was involved in the wrestling industry for forever, I'm one of the only wrestling legends left. So if Kylie Control wants someone to vertical suplex her X-Man, I will gladly be more than obliging to do that. I would love to be in a nightclub somewhere with Kylie and Ruby, and then Kylie point out her X-Man, and I just walk over to her X-Man and vertical suplex her. Now, I know we would get kicked out of the nightclub, but I think it would be really cool if I suplexed him to that song APT by Bruno Mars or something while that song was playing in the nightclub. Yeah, man, because I'm really strong and I can do that. So hit the subscribe button, show your love for this YouTube channel, and I will keep creating great Descendants videos for you guys. The release window is suggesting sometime in 2026. I won't say summer 2026 just yet. I know I put it in the title a lot, but that's what it's implying, that we will see it by summer 2026. But I would love for a fall or even holiday release for this one to kind of change it up. What do you girls think? If we have some really cool girls out there that would like to hit the subscribe button, I would love for you to be a part of this community, because this community always has been incredibly supportive of these videos and this channel. Thank you so much for watching this video. What do you say we take ourselves up in the opportunity right now to go spread some kindness? Because I really believe there is not enough kindness seen in this world, and the words "I love you" are never said enough. Forgive me, because I'm a real sweetheart, but if you love these videos, please hit the subscribe button. Let me know you're out there. Send a punch to my heart. All you got to do is just punch me in the heart by hitting the subscribe button. Punch me as hard as you can in the heart by hitting the subscribe button, and I will love you for forever. Forever have a squeeze on my heart, and I will love you forever, because I do love creating these videos for each and every one of you, and I just like to know that some girl out there really does love my videos on Descendants, on Cameron Boyce, on Dove Cameron, Thank you so much. I will talk more about the original Descendants cast and trilogy, but the focus right now seems to be on the release dates for Zombies 5 and Descendants 5 because of the release window and the predictions and the suggestions for a release date for this. So I will go back in time and talk about Descendants for you too, the original trilogy. But if you want to punch me in the heart by hitting the subscribe button, you're more than welcome to do that. As I say, thank you so much. Let's go spread some kindness right now. Bye, YouTube. We will talk again in a few hours.